Up folks, it's Simon and Mabel, and we're Easter Monday 2022, and I've just called her back from chasing two big roe deer across the tops here in Sheep House Wood. You'll probably be able to pick up that lovely bird sound. I don't know whether you'll have the background noise then of the curlew on the moors behind. A beautiful big curved beak moorland bird. It was a really haunting call, a shrill call. Beautiful sound. Not dissimilar to an oyster catcher, and we've had those recently because we live near the reservoir on the bottom at Underbank. We've had oyster catcher flying over, and they're a coastal bird normally, although the curlews do tend to gravitate in winter to the coast and come back to lay their eggs on the moorland in the spring. So yeah, two big roe deer we've just seen. There was probably more, but just saw the back end of two. Big white tails on them, jumping through a nice grey-brown, silky body. And of course Mabel getting that bit more adventurous now. Chased them for probably 2.5 minutes through the woods. A little concerned because she can jump the wall at the top of Sheep House Wood and there's livestock in it now. There's sheep and cattle, but she's not gone that far. I think with the size of the roe deer, as I've always said, there's no way she's tackling such a large animal. It's just purely about the hunt for her. So yeah, unfortunately the other day I had my camera the wrong way round. This one doesn't seem to operate correctly unless the camera is in the top left hand corner. So even though I downloaded my last video, it is sideways, so apologies about that, because I was quite happy with the quality. But this is only a few days after. That was Easter Friday, Good Friday. This is Easter Monday. And I've just had a little jog walk to try and get the body used to it again. Mabel's doing fine. She went over to the west coast, over on the Wirral, yesterday with Betsy and D'Angelo. Betsy's got a friend over there, and they were on one of the big beaches there with the dogs. Although there has been reports of dogs picking up quite a nasty diarrhoea infection from beaches on the east coast. And she seemed quite listless this morning. She's not finished all the food, but I think she'd been having lots of treats yesterday, lots of excitement, so I'm sure she'll eat when she gets in. And she was absolutely tired out yesterday, all the excitement and the travel, the running about, chasing other dogs, in and out the sea. And then she met Betsy's friends, two dogs as well, so all that extra excitement for her. For a puppy especially is really tiring. So she slept really well. She's getting really used to our one duck and two hens in the garden. She will wander and chase them occasionally and follow them around, a natural instinct, but it's not something that she's really worrying them or trying to grab them anymore. Doesn't seem to be a problem. So we are able now to do a little bit more work in the garden and let her off. Come on then. Come on then. So yeah, she's about 10.5 months now. And I've noticed she's been eating some of the forest grass as well for digestion. Still keeping a close eye on her with making sure there's no toadstools in her mouth. Those sort of things, but it is a risk in forested areas. And then we had a lovely surprise yesterday because we live in older houses, probably 1940s I think, possibly 1920s our house, so between 1800 years old, ex-council houses with big gardens, close to the forested areas over here, not far, only probably 2 minutes for a bird to fly from these woods to our back garden. 2 or 3 minutes. We had a kestrel on the street. It landed on the neighbour opposite on their burglar alarm, believe it or not. It's the first time I've seen a kestrel on the street. It's really nice. So disturbed it when I popped my head out the front door just to take a closer look. But that's a sign that they're looking for nesting areas and feeding areas, which is really nice. I can't say I've heard the owls recently, but we do have owls in and around the gardens. And there's lots of trees in these local gardens because they're big old mature gardens that we have. So again, we're very lucky. And of course, as everybody knows, I'm a big tree planter. And we had a lovely day on, well, a lovely afternoon and evening. This Saturday just gone, the Easter Saturday, the first weekend of the World Snooker Championships at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield, which is one of my great passions, and my cousin Philip. So we got tickets for a first round match, which is Mark Selby, the 4-time world champion, up against Jamie Jones, defending his title. One of the all-time greats, you've got to say, on the Green Bays. So that was great. We had a meal in Cosmos first, Sheffield City Centre, saw some of the stars, Steve Davis, John Parrott, Ken Doherty, Stephen Hendry, Dennis Taylor, John Virgo, Rob Walker, the MC, all the stars, and obviously just lapped up the atmosphere of the Crucible, which is a really special venue for watching snooker, the mecca of snooker, and long may it continue as the home of the World Championships. I know the Crucible's got the contract for, I think, at least another 5 years, if I'm right. But of course, there's always bids at the end of that period to host it somewhere else. But we've got to say that, you know, this is the spiritual home of the World Championships, and the qualifiers have been held in Sheffield now for a good few years. So Sheffield really is the home of the World Snooker Championship. And of course, not far down the road in North Derbyshire, me being a Derbyshire lad, there's the home of Joe and Fred Davis, the two all-time greats of the early years of snooker. So there's a rich heritage of snooker in this area and region. Anyway, just moving off topic there. You can see this lovely dappled sunlight. We've been really fortunate over this Easter weekend. I'm going to have a little detour, I think, today, because even though I've been down here before, I would like somehow to vary this walk. And I know there's this track down to the right, and it just peters out further down. I'll just have another quick look at it. There's some lovely white bracket fungus there on that dying silver birch. And then very slowly we're starting to get the bluebells through underneath these oak and birch and beech. The standard beech here to the left. But there's such a mixture. You see, this used to go straight through down to the bottom and then down to the road. Before that, hitting the railway track. I'm going to have another little walk because it goes so far. And as much as I'm not a great fan of having loads and loads of different cut-throughs in woodland, especially these ancient ones, 2 or 3 paths is usually enough. See, there's a track there, but that's more of a deer track. If you can even pick that up, that would be something that deer would probably use. This looks actually as though it is passable now. So we'll have a little walk through today. Looks like people have been using it. It's quite overgrown in places. It looks like it's been cleared further down. Ah, interesting. So yeah, we can get through. Now, this is a proper raised track into this woodland here. There's walls, old walls either side, so this suggests that this has been some form of track or old path up through and onto the moors. And whether it shows its industrial heritage, or whether it's purely a agricultural farm track. There's extra tree guards and tree planting gone off as well down this bottom end. From who? We don't know. And there's an small old building further on there. And then some rubble and waste here. So obviously there's been activity. That looks with a wee growth on top. It's been there a few years. Then this looks quite disturbed down here, as though this is what they've taken off the track further down here. So interesting. Trying to work out where we are now. So this seems to bring us back down to the horse box place. Now, whether this is classed as private property here. Interesting, I'm going to have a little look. So that's the horse box and caravan place there. They seem to have some industrial tanks here, buildings. So